Hi, got a cool matchup here. Heady Topper, Double Sunshine. I guess the two most popular double IPAs in Vermont. Up until very recently, this was only available at the brewery, not even on tap other places. Because this is basically what existed before Sip of Sunshine. Double Sunshine's always been only brewed in Vermont. Sip of Sunshine's always been brewed at Two Roads in Connecticut. And I had this for the first time last November when I went to their new awesome tap room, and I really liked it. Heady Topper, of course, been around much longer. I've had this many, many times. But what's cool is because of the current situation, which isn't cool, I got cans that were canned on the same day and bought them both in Massachusetts. These are both exactly 17 days old. And they're quite different beers, though. They're both less hazy than your average New England style IPA these days. And they do use different hops. Heady Topper has been around for a long time, before they had Citra hops. And Lawson's Double Sunshine is focused on Citra hops. They use other hops in there, I'm sure. But they're both 8%, both canned the same day. Both hugely influential beers. So I thought it'd be cool to do a head-to-head and maybe I'll blend them together at the end. So let's just first pour this one. I was very happy to get my hands on this because I like this beer a lot. I might even like it more than Heady Topper, but they're quite different. Heady Topper is hazier, more bitter, but no Citra hops. Which usually you would think the hazier the beer these days, the more likely it is to have Citra and to not be very bitter. So let's just take a gander at how different they look first. This glass was not cleaned properly, but as you can see, the Lawson's is very clear. I mean, there are tiny little particulates in there. It's definitely unfiltered. But then you look at Heady Topper. This is a pretty fresh can. Once these get to be like, a 2 months old, they clear out quite a bit. But that's very hazy. They both have a pretty lively carbonation coming up. Heady Topper looks like it has a little bit nicer of a head. The Alchemist beers always have amazing head and retention. Has not bad on this one though either. So let's smell Double Sunshine first. Yeah. It's just so fruity and juicy smelling without having all the haze and all the big yeasty notes. I think Lawson's is just a pretty clean, old-fashioned American ale yeast. The only thing about it is that they just know how to pack in lots of Citra aroma and make it really fruity without all these yeast esters to help it. And they also make it pretty low in the bitterness. It smells a lot like pineapple and peach. It's really good and floral smelling. Yeah, it's probably the most juicy, fruity IPA that looks, darn right, almost clear. It's a really big aroma too. I'm not getting any booze, no weird stuff. Maybe there's some hints of juicy fruit gum, but it's not bubble gummy or banana-y or full of all these weird cotton candy, cakey type things that so many of these hazy IPAs these days have. And really orangey, like lots of juicy orange. It smells great. And Heady Topper right off the bat is a little bit danker and more berry-like notes. I know that Heady Topper has a lot of Simcoe in it, and head is still creamy and thick on top of there. But dank berry, and there's some stone fruit thing. It's not quite tropical though. I'm not getting pineapple. And there is a unique yeasty candy-like quality that for some reason my head, it reminds me of Tootsie Rolls actually. Tootsie Rolls, aren't real chocolate. It's like this fake chocolate flavoring, or for some reason I get that in this. I should get a Tootsie Roll and eat it next to a Heady Topper and see if it's right. But I think it's the Alchemist yeast. I get that in all their hoppy beers. If there's something, yeah, more resinous and a little bit greener maybe. Not quite exactly pine, but close to there, whereas this is not pine at all. And I don't know. I don't know which one is more aromatic. It might actually be Heady Topper. So let's do a taste. That is so drinkable and just very, very juicy. It's not like actually drinking juice. Doesn't have that feel that you get from ultra hazy, murky beers. And it's so palatable. And it finishes just barely dry, but it's not very bitter. It's definitely spicy and earthy in the finish in a way that isn't quite as much in the nose. And the feel isn't massive, but it is close to being silky. Actually, some bitterness builds up in the second sip. I don't think it's going to be as bitter as Heady Topper. That's almost like silky. I feel like this is almost more like Pliny the Elder influence in a way, but using Citra hops, newer wave hops, and not in as quite of a sticky, resinous, bitter way. All right, let's do the topper. Definitely more potent. I might be getting more booze out of it. It could just be that the booze from this is building up with this, but this is more of an attack on the palate. And it finishes very earthy and spicy. Wow. Yeah, this is, it's so funny because Heady Topper, every time I return to it now, I'm like, this is more like old-fashioned, really bitter, in-your-face IPAs. It could be because it's using more old-fashioned hops, because there was no such thing as Citra and Mosaic when Heady Topper was first brewed. And I know that depending on the harvests and everything and how John Kimmick, the brewer and founder, like he smells them and he does different ratios and changes it up, but I think it's mostly classic C hops. And recently I think he's been using a lot of Simcoe. It's very Simcoe forward because he's like the recent Simcoe yields, or not batches, whatever you call it, the years that Simcoe, because Simcoe used to be more catty or cat pissy as people would say. Now it's just earthy and maybe a little, maybe this is kind of grassy, but it's big on the berry now. It's like blueberry, almost raspberry. And of course, Simcoe is one of the parents of Mosaic, and Mosaic is known for some berry-like notes, but more peach, and there's not that much peach in this one. Maybe a little bit, but this finishes very dry and spicy, and it's kind of explosive in the nose and the palate. Now when I get back into this is seeming even more fruity. Yeah, just all tropical citrus. It reminds me a lot of the pineapple juice I was drinking recently. Really, really, really very nice. I wonder if I mix this with Heady Topper, it'll just be kind of overwhelmed. Maybe I'll do this and mix in just a tad. And I guess Lawson's Double Sunshine and Sip of Sunshine, those beers are definitely known for being super fruity and juicy, but also really easy to drink. And I think having it be clear and have a perfect balance, bitterness and sweetness, not being too bitter also makes it just, this I could chug this. I'm not going to, but I could chug this. Chugging a Heady Topper, I think would definitely be unpleasant. Let's see how the blend is. I only did a little bit of Topper. Wow, nice tiny bubbles in there. That's why the feel is so silky, because there aren't all these gigantic bubbles that make it feel like you're drinking a soda. That's good. With a little bit of Heady Topper, it gives you a pop. of intense hoppiness and stuff, but doesn't cover up the tropical fruits. Seem to bring them out a little bit more, actually. Very nice. I don't know which one. It depends on my mood. If I want something that's more in your face and I'm in the mood for a heady topper, I'll do that. Yeah, it's interesting that this one is clear, but it's a little bit more like what's popular these days, like IPA style wise, and this one is not. This is living in its own world, it seems, in a way. It's really caught in a time and place where it was like, you know, a long time ago, it was the fruitiest, juiciest, least bitter, most palatable double IPA. I have friends who said this is the first IPA I ever liked, and now, in comparison to all 75% of all the IPAs, it's really bitter. But that's probably enough rambling. I was very happy that I got to have these beers, and probably for my money right now, I'm a Double Sunshine fan. It is definitely better than Sip of Sunshine. Sip of Sunshine is pretty good, but this is, you know, this is just masterpiece status almost. Goodbye.